I was about to say I'm so excited, but then you played that.
I know.
So I guess I won't say that.
I'm sorry.
So let's start here in Notre Dame because they have named themselves a starting quarterback. It is Tyler Buchner. Now, he appeared in 10 games last year, but he kind of did the J.J. thing. He only threw the ball 35 times, completed 21 of them. Your thoughts on Notre Dame naming Tyler Buchner their starter? He has to go against Ohio State.
You ready? I got one for you. Call me Regis Philbin. I'm phoning a friend. Rico, what do you know about him?
Mike, I think David put it best. He's the guy that everybody wanted because you really didn't see him. But, yeah, I give him credit that they're announcing their starting QB now. They're not going to do the whole, hey, we're going to play you for a little bit here and a little bit there. This gives Notre Dame a chance to go in and beat Ohio State. Ohio State does not have a ton of tape on this kid. I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I don't hate it, but, yeah, at least you picked your quarterback and you picked him now, and you're just going to go forward.
And, look. Best friend for a young QB is a stud tight end, and they got it. That Michael Mayer is as close to Gronkowski as I have seen. I mean, he is like exact body type, has the same running style. Like, I don't know if he's a goofball, but, dude, Michael Mayer is a stud at tight end.
So if you notice something here, there's going to be a theme. There's going to be a lot of quarterback questions because teams have those issues in college football. Let's start there. And again with LSU because their quarterback is leaving. QB Miles Brennan was told by Brian Kelly that he will not be the starter. So the 6-year QB has decided to walk away from football. Your guys' thoughts on that?
Pretty sure the fan base would have wanted him to walk away 3 years ago. I don't think it matters. He's no good. I mean, if Rico's got a heartwarming Miles Brennan story, he can share it here.
No, I don't. He never lived up to that hype, and Brian Kelly knows he's got a short leash. He's got 2 years to turn this thing around before the fan base just turns on him. So, yeah, the 6-year starter, I don't think you're going to get a Stetson Bennett type of performance out of him. So, no, you saw that going. And, yeah, here's one for you, Mike. Jaden Daniels, remember him?
I can't believe he's the starter because everybody at ASU hated him. His teammates were borderline, bleeping on his empty locker.
No, they didn't borderline. They actually did.
They did.
Was trying to be polite, but there you go. Yeah, I you know how I feel about Kelly down at LSU. I think they could finish last in the SEC West this year.
You really do?
I do.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to give you...
Here, Dave, hold on. I have to do this. You know, Rico, I was reading my college football preview. Next.
Out on the Davenport?
That's right. With a sweater tied around my neck. Go ahead.
So I'm going to give you 4 when it comes to total best bets here, and I want you to choose one of them that you're certain is going to happen.
Air Force over 8.5.
Utah over 9. North Carolina over 7.5. Nebraska under 7.5. Michigan State under 7.5.
The best bet to happen.
Yeah, Rico,
Yes.
You want to go first?
Oh, Utah. Utah over 9.5. I think Utah is going to be the team from the Pac-12 or however many teams is still left out on the West Coast. I look for Utah to make a push to be one of the final 4 teams in the college football playoff. So I'm going Utah over 9.5, David.
I can't argue, and that doesn't make for great radio. I think of the 4 you gave me, I think Nebraska goes over because this is Scott Frost's year.
This is the year. We're back.
Right. The MSU one, I don't get the negativity. I understand they were 6-1 in close games. That has to normalize.
Your coach does too much stuff outside of playing football, Mike.
Got it.
Cigars.
Well, look, defense will be a lot better. They really got better in the portal in the front 7. Offense, I think, does take a step back because K9 was I think, a once-in-a-lifetime transfer. But they'll still be good enough. Yeah, I think Rico's got the right one. I can't disagree.
You know what? But the funny thing about the offense, Mike, and you would know this because we're going to get a little geeky here.
Uh-oh.
But I've heard this before. Like, remember, Oh, well, there's no way you're ever going to replace Javon Ringer because he was a once-in-a-lifetime, and then they brought in 3 backs who kind of got the job done. Now, this was back before Michigan State started winning a ton of games, but after Ringer left, you saw Bell, you saw Caper, and you saw Baker, and I think you're going to see running back by committee this year, and I think they'll be fine.
I said the same thing when Dwayne Goldburn's era ended.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
think about
kidding.
it. Dwayne Goldberg.
Leroy McFadden. Batman Holman.
Okay.
Dwayne
Batman.
Clemens.
Wow.
Mark Renaud, anyone?
Jeez, man.
Scotty Green?
I was
Who's
about to
your
say,
favorite
where's-
mediocre MSU running back?
Where's Scotty Green?
Scotty Green, number 47, the ultra back. He was our Merrill Hodge, David.
Oh, Merrill Hodge. What a
The ultra back.
jeez.
No, Mike, here's one for you. Whatever happened to David Richards?
Dear God, the kid from St. Louis?
Yes. Whoa, Mike, you know what? You are a savant.
I'm
I thought I was going to
I
go
got
right
you.
past.
I got. Up next, we check in on Kelly Baraka. David, read something.
So
we're losing listeners by the syllable.
Let's do this here because I want to focus on 2 teams in the Big Ten, the West, okay? Because there's a team there that went to the Big Ten title game that has the same question mark as Michigan. And then the other is they're always supposed to be at the top, but then they have a quarterback that doesn't play well. And that's Graham Mertz in Wisconsin. Can he take the next step, and can they actually go back, win the Big Ten? And then Iowa, Spencer Petras and Alex Padilla. Sure, they made it to the Big Ten title game like Michigan last year, but they can't keep surviving on the 2 quarterback system. Let's talk about Iowa, Wisconsin for a quick minute.
Rico, go first.
Here's the thing about Iowa, David. Iowa made it to the Big Ten title game because they had a defense that was from outer space last year. That defense was phenomenal, and I don't know if
Sounds
you
like
can
Michigan to me.
replicate that. I don't know if you can replicate that type of a defensive play again. Petras was okay. Their offense was just okay. They didn't have to do anything because they knew even if we turn the ball over, the defense is going to get it right back for us. Yeah, that was one. Now for Graham Mertz, they got a new coordinator at Wisconsin. Wisconsin is still going to want to just run the ball. And I think the problem with Wisconsin was they tried to be something that they weren't last year. They wanted to be a wide open offense. That's not who Wisconsin is. Go back to running the ball and play action with the tight end, and you win games. You're never going to make it to the college football playoffs, but you will win games, you'll win the West, and you'll get to Indy.
I agree with a lot of what he said. He's right on Iowa. I mean, plus 11 in turnovers. You're getting a freebie every game you play. The problem with Wisconsin, look, I think it's a dirty secret, but the O-line play is just not where we're used to it being, and it's been that way for a couple of years. And yes, I mean, the running back, he's like 250 pounds. What is it? The hell's his name? I know he's from Fond du Lac.
Oh, the Wisconsin running
Yeah,
back?
Braylon, whatever it is. Yeah, Braylon Allen. I mean, he's a freight train. But Rico's right. Yeah, it's easier said than done. The problem is I don't think the O-line's any good. And I just, you know what, here, I'll say this. Iowa has become blue magic. You just know what you're getting. I think Wisconsin's entered the gotta-show-me realm, Rico. I kind of need to see it to believe it with Graham Mertz. He's terrible.
Iowa to me, every 4 years they rise up and they win. You're not going to hear anything from them for another 3 years, Mike. Northwestern is the every other year type of team where they're good, they're bad, they're good, they're bad. But Wisconsin, I think they stopped doing what got them there. They wanted to be cute. They went out and they paid their quarterback $1 million, and we got this 5-star QB, and we're going to chuck the ball around.
Yikes.
They weren't built for that.
No.
That offensive line is built for one thing: running the ball and just road grinding.
And then real quick, AP poll was released today. Michigan at number 8, Michigan State at number 15. But what I want to know from you, within the top 10, you have Bama, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Utah, Michigan, Oklahoma, Baylor. Every year, someone in that top 10 finishes unranked. Who do you think finishes unranked that's in the top 10? Could it be Notre Dame? Could it be Michigan? Could it be Baylor?
No, Michigan, you may as well put it number 1. I mean, they don't play anybody the first 6 weeks of the season. So, no, I have no problem there.
Puerto Rico is probably Clemson, right?
I was going to say Oklahoma. There was an exodus of players. I don't know that Brent Venables is some amazing coach. He's been a great assistant. I think Oklahoma could end up 8-4 or something like that. That'd be the one I'd look to.
David, the one that I would look to would probably be Texas A&M because every year they get a ton of hype. But you know what? You play in the hardest conference, and you got a coach that runs his mouth, and you're going to have teams that are just going to come out and backhand them. And Texas A&M could finish with 5 losses.
Where's Texas?
They're not ranked.
What?
Unranked
For the first
in the AP
time
poll, yep.
ever.
Now I know this
Not
weekend they
ranked.
lost. They lost a really good O lineman. They lost their best. Well, I think their second best receiver because Xavier Worthy's a monster. Bad weekend for Texas, but unranked.
Unranked.
Shouldn't we wait
Tennessee-
until they dump a bad game in September to take them out?
No, I think they finally said, yeah, we're not doing that this year. Yeah, Tennessee came in at 26 and Texas at 27.
I like Tennessee this year. I could see 9 wins for Tennessee.
Okay, you know what? Tennessee is your Maryland. Okay, they're not good, Mike. Walk away.
That's Nebraska.
Don't do it.
No, come on. Don't do that to Hendon Hooker. That's my guy.
Tennessee, don't do it, Mike.
All right, 12 days to college football and us bickering about Nebraska.